how do you define wisdom in your life?
You know, it's such an interesting question, because, you know, to me, wisdom, when I think of wise people, I think of people with a lot of experience, you know, that have lived a life, right? Um, Sometimes we'll say, oh, that young person is wise beyond their years, you know, and so you've got people that really are deep thinkers at an early age. For me, wisdom is all about sharing experience and a life well lived, right? I think wisdom is the culmination of your life's journey. You know, what were some of the experiences that shaped your life, that shaped who you are and the community that you serve? You know, you and I are both great fans of Marshall Goldsmith, right?
Yes.
And whenever I talk to Marshall, his life experience and the way that he is able to share what he's learned, to me, that's wisdom, right? It's not just knowing a lot of stuff, it's sharing that experience. How do you take that knowledge and that wisdom and share it with the people around you? And no one does it better than Marshall, you know? And I will tell you that the reason that I said yes to your email is because Marshall taught me that when people ask for help, or they ask you to endorse a book, or they ask you for your opinion, there's only one answer, and the answer is always yes.
Wow.
Now, I wasn't always that way. You know, I think a lot of people think that wisdom is acquiring a lot of knowledge and keeping it to yourself for your advantage, right? I know stuff you don't know, and that gives me the upper hand, right? I think true wisdom is gaining a lot of great knowledge and then making sure that you share it with people that need it and ask for it. So, you know, I was so touched that you thanked me for responding to your email. I'm thinking you should thank Marshall, because he's the one that taught me to say yes to all those things. Isn't that interesting, how wisdom cascades, you know, wisdom ripples.
Wow.
And it was from Marshall to me to you.
Yeah. And Chester, because of that kind gesture that you did to us, it's really hard for my wife and I to ever say no to anyone that asks us for help. And this one also. And, you know, so every time that someone asks us for help, and even if we are busy with something, we're trying to delay to saying yes at a later time, but we're always trying to do it as much as we could do. And Regan always told me it's all because of Chester. And
well, and see, that's how wisdom gets transferred, right?
Yeah.
It's from person to person to person, those acts of kindness. You know, I am such a fan of random acts of kindness. You know, it costs you nothing to be kind. It costs you nothing to hold the door or help somebody with their packages, or, you know, give them a kind word or a pat on the back. It was interesting. Just last night, my wife and I were at the grocery store, and we were buying various and sundry things, you know, for the next few days. And the woman at the checkout was just delightful. You know, and often, you know, jobs like that, they're hourly jobs, and they kind of survive the day, get the paycheck, go home. She was so engaging. She was so friendly and so lovely that we have a tradition in our family. Let's see if I can find one that makes sense here. We have these little gratitude stones that I carry with me. And she was so wonderful. I said, hey, I've got a little gift for you. It's a good luck gratitude stone. And she goes, oh, really, for me? And I said, yeah, you know, it's a stone because a stone in the pond makes the water ripple, just like your wonderful smile and your wonderful positivity. So I hope it brings you good luck. And she goes, oh my gosh, I will carry this with me everywhere. You know? And I thought, I buy these by the hundreds, by the way. And, you know, they cost $1 or whatever. It took 20 seconds to have that conversation, and to then see her smile and put that stone on her register, and to know that she'll carry it with her. Why not? You know, why wouldn't you? And wow. I love just little random acts of kindness. And my wife said, well, you made her day. And I said, you know, I know my wife knows this. I set a goal to uplift a stranger every day. So
Beautiful.
somebody I come across, can I do something kind for them? Can I give them a kind word? Can I give them a little gratitude stone? And you know this because you do this.
Hmm.
Not only does it make their day happy, it makes your day happy. I mean, you always feel good when you say yes to those people, you and your wife. Of course, it lifts them up. It also lifts you up, doesn't it? I mean, you feel great about being of service and helping somebody.